Thanks for watching our video. We're at Piano Solutions Workshop, and we want to show you some aspects of the piano restoration. In the front of us is the Steinway Model A, serial number 138,000. It means, according to the catalog, it was built in 1909. It means it's antique, pretty old piano. And the reason why it's in a restoration shop, because the pins were loose, there was some problem with the sound, a lot of noises create. And when we start to work on this piano, when we took all the strings off and this cast iron plate, we noticed that somebody worked already on this piano, and the pin block was replaced already. As you see, it's new. No, maybe 15 years ago it was replaced, and it was strange, of course, why the pins were loose. We can just see some unusual things they use to mark the position of the pins. But anyway, we replaced the pin block, we matched it to our cast iron plate, and we did all the right procedures to be sure that it lasts for 60, maybe 80 and more years. Then we bring our attention to the soundboard. Of course, every time you're dealing with old pianos, you learn a lot. And of course, we learn here from this piano how not to do it. As you remember, I told you that was something wrong with the pin block. And of course, when we work on the soundboard, something wrong with the soundboard too. They use these screws through the rib to make the solid on the soundboard. Of course, it was a completely wrong way to do it. That's why when I start to check it, it was all these points were loose. It means 25, or sorry, maybe less, they were loose completely. Luckily, they didn't put a glue inside. That's why it helps a lot. But I have to took all the screws, and as you see, it's around like 25 of them were over there. And using a special clamp that I show you after that, that you know how to do it, to clamp to make ribs solid on the soundboard. And later on, using our special tool, we're able to not just only check the ribs in our position of the small, like metal thing, but use the microscopic cracks that we have to fill them with a certain just glue. Anyway, I want to show you some tools that we use for making good job. You might ask, of course, why we do it. The reason is that on these pianos, the spruce is very valuable. You cannot find any even closer to this. If you see, it's a very tight annual circles. It's almost just like a razor blade thin. That's why even these old soundboards, they're still very valuable. And that's why we want to make it solid. And after we fix the ribs, it's still going to be a lot of work. We're going to shim it. We make it solid again. We just protect it with a lacquer. But for these purposes, I want to show you how these tools work. I'll show you some special tool that I use to clamp and eliminate gaps between the ribs and the soundboard on the piano. As you see, this is just rectangular shape. It goes around the piano. I can, you see, like it works. I can disconnect this one and keep it separated and go around the piano. I move it like this and put it on another side and just be ready for work. I want to show you how it works. Let's assume that we put it already around the piano, like that. It's around the piano. And we can position it. You know, of course, we put the pin here to connect it. It's strong. And you see, this is clamps They move it to any position. And it's, of course, measurements here. It's a ruler here. I can put it, let's say, on a position 30 inches. And the similar measurements is here. I can put it on a 30 position here, 30 inches. And as you see, they're gonna be face each other. That's why I can bring them to the point where I have to clamp it and from both sides tie it. It's not damaged soundboard, it's just like hanging on the soundboard. It's make it just like perfect. And you do it each gap like this. And sometimes you use the, of course, the wedges, but takes sometimes time. In this case, it's almost a whole week we work on the soundboard. As you see, it's movable on the wheels, you can put it aside. And of course, the most important thing, just when you can get to any portion of the soundboard, is our rotating device. That's help us to work. As you see, I can move the piano like that. And of course, you have to put this switches aside. And I can move in desired position like that. Of course, you see, yeah, you have to open it, and as I wish, I can put it like that, for instance, 45 degrees. As you see, I get access to any tiny things. Then, when I did the major things like that, there was big gaps here. Now I'm going to work individually with each just opening. And later on, when I've done here, I can move the piano in a regular position like that. Yeah, bring it back. Like that. And we can work on cosmetic things on this piano. We can work with the shims. We be sure that soundboard is solid as it's possible. And of course, after this restoration, we hope and we just know for sure that the piano going to be for the next century.